Hello guys, welcome to Sahil Pro World. In this module 4 we have learnt about intrusion detection system and types of IDS. So now begin IDS concepts. There are 6 approaches to intrusion detection and prevention. Some of these methods are implemented in various software packages and others are simply strategies that an organization can employ to decrease the likelihood of a successful intrusion. Historically, when IDS was first developed, hubs were used very frequently. Today, switches are used rather than hubs. With a hub, after a packet has traveled from its source network to the destination network, being routed by its destination IP address, it finally arrives at the network segment on which the target is located. After it gets to the final segment, the MAC address is used to find the target. All the computer on that segment can see the packet, but because the destination MAC address does not match the MAC address of their network card, they ignore the packet. Now the first approach is preemptive blocking. It seeks to prevent intrusion before they occur. This is done by observing any danger signs of imminent threats and then blocking the user or IP address from which these signs originate. Example of this technique include attempt to detect the early footprinting stages of an imminent intrusion, then blocking the IP or user that is the source of the footprinting activity. If you find that a particular IP address is the source of frequent port scans and other scans of your system, then you would block that IP address at the firewall. This sort of intrusion detection and avoidance can be quite complicated, and there is the potential of blocking a legitimate user by mistake. The complexity arises from distinguishing legitimate traffic from that indicative of an impending attack. Next approach is anomaly detection. It involves actual software that works to detect intrusion attempts and notify the administrator. This is what many people think of when they talk about intrusion detection system. The general process is simple. The system looks for any abnormal behavior, any activity that doesn't match the pattern of normal user access, noted and logged. Any activity that doesn't match the definition of normal behavior is considered as anomaly and is logged. Sometimes we refer to this as traceback or detection or process. We are able to establish from where this packet was delivered. The specific way in which an anomaly is detected include threshold monitoring, resource profiling, user group profiling, and executable profiling. Now let's start threshold monitoring. Threshold monitoring presets accept behavior labels and observes whether these levels are exceeded. This could include something as simple as a finite number of failed login attempts or something as complex and monitoring the time a user is connected and the amount of data that user downloads. Threshold provide a definition of acceptable behavior. Unfortunately, characterizing intrusive behavior only by the threshold limits can be somewhat challenging. It is often quite difficult to establish proper threshold value or the proper time frame at which to check those threshold values. Next one is resource profiling. In resource profiling, measures system-wide use of resources and develops a historic usage profile. Looking at how a user normally utilizes system resources enables the system to identify usage levels that are outside normal parameters. Such abnormal readings can be indicative of illicit activity underway. However, it may be difficult to interpret the meaning of changes in overall system usage. An increase in usage system simply indicates something benign like increased workflow rather than an attempt to breach security. Next topic is user group work profiling. In user group work profiling, the IDS maintain the individual work profile about users and group. These users and group are expected to obey to these profiles. As the user changes his activities, his expected work profile is updated to reflect those changes. Some systems attempt to monitor the interaction of short-term versus long-term profiles. The short-term profiles capture recent changing work pattern, whereas the long-term profiles provide a view of usage over an extended period of time. However, it can be difficult to profile an irregular or dynamic user base. Profiles that are defined too broadly enable any activity to pass review, whereas profiles that are defined too narrowly may inhibit user work. The last one is executable profiling. In executor, profiling seeks to measure and monitor how program use system resources with particular attention to those activity can't always be traced to a specific originating user. For example, system services usually can't be traced to a specific user launching them. Viruses, Trojan horse worm, trapdoors, and other software attacks are addressed by profiling how system objects such as files and printer are normally used not only by user but also by others system subjects on the part of users. In most conventional system, for example, any program for including virus inherent of all the privileges of the user executing the software. The software is not limited by the principle of least privilege to only those privileges needed to properly execute. This openness in the architecture permits viruses to conveniently change and infectly totally unrelated parts of the system. Now, components and processes of IDs. The following term will familiarize you with basic components and functions of all IDs. An activity is an element of a data source that is of interest of the operator. The administrator is the person responsible for organizational security. A sensor is the IDS component that collects data and passes it to the analyzer for analysis. The analyzer is the component or process that analyzes the data collected by the sensor. An alert is a message from the analyzer indicating that an event of interest has occurred. The manager is the part of the IDS used to manage, for example, a console. Notification is the process or method by which the IDS manager makes the operator aware of an alert. The operator is the person primarily responsible for the IDS. This is often the administrator. An event is an occurrence that indicates a suspicious activity may have occurred. The data source is the raw information that the IDS uses to detect suspicious activity. Thank you for watching this video. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, subscribe to your YouTube channel. And must watch next tutorial because we have implement IDS live. Thank you.